Okay, so now we're starting with the strum pattern of page 2. So these are exercises 6 through 10, and hopefully I've shared the page with you. And we are working on just basic rhythms, okay, that can be very common in guitar language. So the basis of this is that we understand that there's a quarter note on every beat, and we're currently in 4/4. So you have to think that the beat is 1, 2, 3, 4, and these are our quarter notes. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and we go down on each of these quarter notes. Okay, the number. But then if you notice at the top of the page, I have a plus sign, and we say and, right? So there's a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and written at the top of the page. The and usually is going to be played with an upstroke. Okay, and so when you have a beat that has a down arrow and an up arrow, you're going down and up. This is your 1 and, or your 2 and, or your 3 and. Okay, so hopefully you've already feel comfortable with that. So let's begin. Exercise number 6, it starts with a rest, so be careful. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. Now number 7. Notice that it says miss on beat 3. Okay, so I'm going to play it for you, and then I'm going to help you practice it if you need help practicing it. So we have 1, 2 and 1, 2 and 4 and 1, 2 and 4 and 1, 2 and 4 and. Now this miss, it's probably a rest, and so if you were playing a chord, you might actually even mute the string. So if you were playing, for example, your E major, you would play 1, 2, and 1, 2 and 4, 1, 2 and 4. Okay, and to mute, what you're going to do is use just the side of your hand and mute all the strings. Okay, you don't have to open up this hand. You can just mute the hand as much as you want, as long as you're covering all the strings. Okay, so let's try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, the reason why that miss is important to actually mute the strings is because later on we will have a tie, and you'll notice that we're going to let the note ring through that beat 3. Okay, great. So let's just play that one last time, and let me help you. If you're having trouble playing that number 7, you can start by playing just beat 1 and 2. So 1, 2 and 1, 2 and 1, 2 and 1, 2 and. Then go to the second half of the measure and play the 3 and 4 and 4 and 4 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 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 and 4. Once you have the beginning half of the measure, then the second half of the measure, then add it together one last time. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. Great. Now number 8, we have R, okay? And what R is the root of the chord, okay? So the root of the chord, if you're in E major, is E. The root of the chord of G is, if you're in G major, is G. The root of a chord of A major is A. The root of the chord of B major is B. The root of the chord of E minor is E. The root of the chord of D major is D. I hope you're getting the trend here. Usually it is the bottom note, okay, that you play of whatever chord you're playing, okay? So if I was playing the G chord, this is a G note, and it's the lowest note that I play, and it just so happens to be the root. Okay. You could also call it the tonic, the home tone. All right. The one, the do, if you're in movable do. Okay. So, what I want you to do is pick a chord. And for example, let's go to an easy E major chord, and we're going to play number 8, which is downstroke root, downstroke 4 and 1, root, down. And you can always do a nice downstroke at the end of any of these exercises just to tell yourself that you're ending. And you can play these for as long as you want. You could just go into a trance playing them. And you can switch chords, you can mute your strings, you can put on a metronome and play with a metronome. So let's try this again. Now let's play A minor. Okay, now the difference is that when you play A minor, you're starting with the A string, and that's the root. It's not E. A is the root of A minor, and A is your 5th string. Okay, so this is your 5th string. So what I want you to do is, it's a little bit tricky. You might have to watch a little bit more your strings, what's going on, so you can grab that root. And let's play that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 4 and 1. 4 and 1. 4 and 1. And you can play one chord to let it go. All right, great. Now, number 9 is a combination of 7 and 8. So you have that miss on beat 3. You still play the and of 3, okay, and 4, and you play the root at the very beginning on beat 1. So if we go back now, let's go to E minor, because that's really comfortable to play the bottom E string. You play your root, down 3 and 4 and root, down 3 and 4 and root, 2, 3 and 4 and root, 2, 3 and 4 and good. Now the reason why it's nice to learn how to play this root is because later on you might really emphasize a root with every other chord. If you're in G major, or in A major, or C major, or D major, it's really a beautiful practice to be able to identify that root chord and to give it more emphasis and to ground the rest of the notes by giving this solid foundational bass note for the rest of the notes to ring. Okay, great. Now number 10, this is a perfect example of a tie of the end of beat 2 into beat 3. So we've got running eighth notes. We've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So now the trick is, we're not going to rest. If we were playing a chord, we'd let that note ring. So for example, we'd play 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Let it ring out. Okay, so that's the difference between the tie and maybe that miss note, which we would consider more of a rest. Okay, great. So that should be all for strum pattern number 2. And if you feel very solid and confident on all those exercises, continue on to string pattern number 3. Okay, ciao.